With close to 80 million patients, India is the world's diabetes capital. Now, COVID-19 has made many more Indians vulnerable to diabetes.
My doctor had told me that, since we are giving you steroids, your sugar may increase.
The conversion to diabetes occurred almost uniformly during the COVID-19.
Because it not only affected other organs, it also used to affect pancreas.
My routine was very normal, getting up, doing my yoga, Sudarshan Kriya, meditations, then making a breakfast, then maybe reading newspaper, then cooking, then maybe meeting. I am quite involved with Art of Living activity.
But then, the pandemic changed everything.
I had problems after COVID because there was tremendous weakness. Even making tea, I had used to take a stool, sit on that stool and then make the tea because I didn't have the energy to stand for 5 to 10 minutes continuously. My diabetes was detected after almost 1.5 months. My doctor had told me that, since we are giving you steroids, your sugar may increase.
During that wave of the COVID, there were plenty of people who were giving steroids. And steroids, those who are giving steroid is just another factor which actually converts a non-diabetic person to the diabetic person. But one thing was sure, those who had severe COVID had more chances of going into diabetes.
Yeah, India is diabetes capital. World over, we hold more than 17% of the population of whatever the population of diabetes, 17% reside in India. I think China exceeds us, but the way we are progressing, we may also exceed China.
The Indians are anyway predisposed to develop diabetes. So at slightest pretext, now may it be some infection or stress, anything, if they are middle-aged, they are obese, then they convert to diabetes very fast, especially when they have pre-diabetes. Now, COVID did the same thing. Of course, there were multiple reasons, we'll answer that. But we saw a number of cases who were non-diabetic earlier and became diabetic subsequent to the COVID infection.
A 2022 study by the Lancet Diabetes and Endocrinology said COVID-19 patients had a 40% higher risk of developing diabetes over the subsequent 12 months.
Those who were unfit, had an unhealthy lifestyle, were obese, the lockdown actually offset their normal schedule. It turned their lifestyle upside down. And these are the people who are prone to catching diabetes now. But now the question is, which social strata is most affected by this?
Middle and low socioeconomic strata, people are quite unfit in fact, and they do their jobs 12 hours a day, they don't have any time to follow the exercise and diet and so. But it is the mostly 30s to 40 or 50 age group which is having this conversion from normal to diabetes or pre-diabetes to diabetes.
A study by Newberg Diagnostic in Bengaluru compared data between September 2019 and February 2020 for 64,000 persons with data for 54,000 persons between March 2022 to October 2022. The research showed people are getting diabetes at a younger age.
The SARS-CoV, the virus itself, it attacked a number of organs. One of them was pancreas. Once it attacked pancreas, it deranged the pancreas function. Their insulin levels went down and the sugar levels went up. Of course, aiding that was also surge of inflammatory cytokines, so-called cytokines. These are poisonous substances.
Pathology tests done on dead people has come out with astounding facts. And the astounding facts are that organs carry the strain of virus. But the most affected organs are pancreas and lungs.
So lungs, pancreas, kidneys, heart, and also musculoskeletal system, and sometimes the brain, but mostly these organs. Pancreas was somewhere forgotten and lungs were in the forefront. And that's why the diabetes was initially was not looked at that it is a serious problem. But actually, their sugar, once their sugar went high, it contributed to dysfunction of every organ. Vital signs are the respiratory rate, pulse rate, blood pressure, and temperature. 4 vital signs everybody knows, they have been there for 100 years. We said blood sugar should be the 5th vital sign.
Scores of people in the Indian subcontinent do not even know that they have diabetes. You'd be surprised to know that this number is at 50%. So, in that way, it's an important step.
There is definitely a burden on the family as well as the nation, because this disease is a curable disease, and this disease needs a prolonged care, and in which there can be complication, there can be the medical burden as well as the psychological burden, and then it is the financial burden, which is the main thing.
The disease burden due to diabetes is humongous. If you look at the reports of the International Diabetes Federation, India has 75 million patients suffering from diabetes. They are between 20 to 79. And if we calculate the cost, it's US $114. If we convert it into rupees, it is 9,000. And if we put it together, it's more than 67,000 crores.